Hello and welcome to another tutorial in Kotlin. Last time we stopped in the Hello World app and we started working on our project, on our simple calculator. We even added the option to choose between different options in our program, putting numbers. Okay, so before I continue, I want to show you how to start uploading our projects for future future handling the project to me in case in our courses or in general. So we have it on the cloud and I have some source control and I start gradually using this system. You have to remember that in our courses and everywhere it is important to always comment what changes have you done and etc. For now, even if it's only for you and you're not sharing your project with anyone else, it's important to know how to use this. I will ask you, well, for those who don't have Bitbucket, create a Bitbucket account, and I will add a new repository and connect this new repository to my project, in this case my existing project. The process will be always to first create the project down here, then create a repository up here, and the last step is connecting both. The idea is connected as soon as possible, so every single development that you have that you had done in your project can be seen and viewed in your source control system. Okay, so I already have my project here. Let's say if I create a project, you will have, after we created, like in the beginning of our tutorial, in the first tutorials, we'll have something like this. You will have it like empty, right? You have to create the file and so on. We will leave it like this, and after you create the project, we will connect it by adding here a source control system, which I will show you later how to connect. Okay, okay, so once we have the project created here, we will go to our project, to our repository here. We will add a new repository. You can choose here a new repository, and we'll call it Hello World Kotlin, for example. Okay, they don't have to have the same name. I'm not gonna add a README file. I will leave it with the Git version control, and I will keep it as a private repository, and I will create it. Once it's created, it will give you a simple tutorial how to connect it to an existing project. The existing project you have down there in this case, yes, you can add the origin, the URL of your project. This is the URL, which you can copy it here too, and then you push the origin master here. Okay, this is the first method. The second method is opening source tree. Yes, and well, this is an old project. We can get out of this. You will see something like this, maybe. It's generally like this, and you can create, instead of using copy URL or create a remote because we already created it here, you should add an existing local repository. Okay, if you do this, it will well, you have to tell him where is it. In my case, it's in dev Kotlin Hello World. This is the folder which contains all the project, and we always have to choose this one. When I have more projects down here, I will choose other projects. If I do this and I put open, it will tell me that it still hasn't been initialized on the local. Okay, it doesn't have a Git control system. So I will create it, which we have to create, because if it never been created before. If you download the project that already has a Git control system, like a version control, then it won't tell you to create, it just will add it to your list of projects here in source tree. So I will create it, but I'm not going to create the remote version because I already created it here. Again, because you're using source tree and source tree is already connected, in my case, configured to work with this backend, then with this web page, it already is, everything is configured. In any case, if you don't have source tree, don't worry, I will show you a third option, okay? Or, as I said, I recommend you to create, when you create a Bitbucket account, download source tree and connect the app that you have it installed on your computer with the app, with this web page here, the Bitbucket web page, so you can create a remote, okay? I'm not going to create it, as I mentioned, I already have it, but if you don't have one here, you can always check here and create the remote connection here. So, as you can see, I already created it on the local, and on the local, it already tells me that there is some 11 files that are not being controlled, pending files to be added to source control. I can commit this moment I add them and say first commit of the project. Now, because it's a local and I didn't create the remote project automatically, it doesn't allow me to push, okay? Because it doesn't know where to push it to, okay? So we will commit, okay, and save the changes on the local, and now we will configure the remote, which is the last step we have to configure if we want to connect it to a remote repository, okay? Now, if we put repository settings, it will tell me, and in remote, okay, remember I put repository settings here, and then I chose the remote option. It will ask me, where do you want to push this, where in the cloud? And it's here where we're gonna add this link, this thing here, okay? The remote name, let's call it Bitbucket. That's the name you want to give it. Bitbucket repository. Okay, and the URL, you can even try to find it. But if you push here, it will, because the source tree is connected to my Bitbucket, it will even search in automatically up there for anyone we can find. It finds the 3 that I have created already, and the one I just created before, just a second ago, the one I want to connect to. You see here. So I'm gonna put OK, and automatically it already puts me, fills the fields with the URL of the project, which is here, the same one that is here. And it already detects is the Bitbucket host type, the host root URL, and my username. It detects everything. I put OK, and then it's added to the list. You can add more than one, which means you can send the project to many different repositories at the same time. For now, we will always connect it to only one. If I put OK, then it is automatically configured. Now, if I try to push, it will ask me where, to the master branch of the Bitbucket repository up here. Okay, that is this one here. It already shows it. So if I put OK, it will push it to the repository, and from now on, each time I make changes, I can commit and push at the same time. Okay, it still doesn't show me much of the remote, but because I haven't fetched anything, if I fetch from all remotes, it will update everything that's up there. There is no, or pull, for example. It's just to keep it, to update, allow me to work on the branches if there is a branch. In this case, there is nothing, so it's not really relevant. Okay, if I go here to the source, and I refresh the page, it should now show all the project up here. You will see. As you can see, there is those folders, which are the default folders of the project, and inside source, there is the main Kotlin file that we already created, as we mentioned before. Okay. Commits, only one for now. And well, if I go now to my project and I start changing things, for example, I don't know, I'm gonna put here another space here. Okay, it's telling me that okay, this is a problem. This is a Xcode thing. It's only on Mac. For those who have Mac, you may need to go into the Xcode system, but if you don't want that message to appear all the time, okay, up here all of a sudden we will have two new options, which is to download the latest project updates, okay, and well, the updates is canceled because I don't have the Xcode license agreed, and to push new changes. We will use that in the following part of the tutorial to explain to you how to commit and push from here. This is the third option, and or from here. Okay.